Hello guys, I hope all of you are doing well. Today we are going to discuss our question NQueens. NQueens is a traditional recursion and backtracking question and one of the most important question of our series. Okay, let's first understand the question. We are given a n cross n chessboard. We are required to place n number of queens in such a way such that no queen can kill each other. Okay, we are required to place n number of queens in such a way that no queen can kill each other. We are given 8 directions such that queen can travel. Okay, queen can travel in 8 directions. So that's our input and output for it, the output format. Let's create a chessboard and understand it better. So let's talk about n cross n chessboard. I'll create a chessboard. Here you go. So for n if n is equal to 4, so 4 is to 4. This is our chessboard. Perfect. I will name the column 0, 1, 2, 3, column number, row number. Now, this is our chessboard. We are given 8 directions in which queen can travel. Okay. So what are those 8 directions? Okay. So the 8 direction in which queen can travel are, let me draw it. Okay. So top direction, this, top right, right, bottom down, bottom, bottom left, left, and top right. So these are the 8 directions in which queen can travel. 8 directions. Okay. And we are required, what we are required to do? We are required to place queen in such a way, in, in such a way such that no queen can kill each other. Okay, kill each other. And here we are given the direction in which queen can kill. Okay, the 8 direction. Now let's see one possible answer where in which we can place all the queens. So if you place a queen here in the first column of your 0th row, if you place it here in the last column, here in the second row you place it in the 0th column, and in the last row if you place it in the second column. So this can be your one possible configuration. What we are required to do is to print all configuration. Okay, I'll write it here. Print all possible config. Okay, and our output format, as you can see, let me show you our output format. So first the row number, then slash, then column number and comma. Okay, fine. So output format is something like, we are placing the first queen in the 0th row in the first column, then a comma, then here first row, last column, then second row, 0th column, third row, second column, then comma, and a full stop at the end. That's our output format. We are required to print all the queens, place all the queens in such a way such that no queen can kill each other. And we have to print all the possible configuration, all the possible ways. So that's our question. I first recommend you to try it yourself before moving to the solution. Okay, now let's move to the solution. Okay, so for that, I will create one more chessboard or a 2D matrix. Let it be a small chessboard this time. Let it be 2, where 2 into 2. Okay, so 2 into 2, 0, 1, right? Sorry. 0, 1. So now This time, to solve this question, the first thing that we are going to think about is how we can place the queens. Not how we can place the queen safely, just placing the queens, just placing n number of queens. Okay, so our step will be to place n number of queens. And we will just think about placing, not how we can place it safely. Okay, so for that, I want to show you with the help of a recursive tree. It is similar to the target sum subset question. We had two choices, whether to include or not to include. Here also, we would face similar choices. Let's see how. Okay, before that, let's check our function. We are given chessboard QSF. QSF is storing our answer. Okay, QSF is a string that is storing our answer, the row number, column number, and the row we are given. Okay, so here I will write what? I will write row that is initially 0 and QSF that is also empty. Perfect. Now here also we will face with two choices. What are those two choices? Whether to place queen in your zeroth column or your first column. Okay, so these choices we will face. So I will write level here. Okay, so first so what are the two choices in the zeroth column or first column? Okay, so if we place our queen in the zeroth column, let's place it. Okay, so if we place our queen in the zeroth column, that means we place our queen here. So what will happen? So we will get to the first row. Are you getting me? We will get to the first row. So in the first row, in the first row, again, we will face with two choices. What are those two choices? Think, what are those two choices? The two choices are whether to place your queen in the zeroth column or first column, right? Zeroth column or first column. Okay, so our recursive tree is something going like this. Okay, so here. So if you place your queen in, let it be a bit clear. Yeah, so if you place your queen in the zeroth column, let's place it here. So you will reach 2th column, right? Of course, you will reach 2th column, and here you already placed your n number of queens. Okay, and you reach 2th row. So, or you can say you will get out of the matrix. In that case, if you reach nth row, then what you are gonna do? First thing, you will simply print it. Okay, so here we are adding the row number column, right? So first thing, you have to print it. What you have to print? The row number and column number in which you placed your queen. So in this case, it is gonna be something like this. Okay, that's the first step. Okay, you are gonna print. Now, what else you are gonna do? Okay, so here after reaching this point, you are gonna print your answer. Okay, that's but you have to take care of other things as well. So when you return back from here, okay, now you check for the first column whether to place your queen here, but you realize you have already placed n number of queens, right? And we have to place n number of queens. So to explore more options, more path, we have to backtrack. We have to unmark it. So whenever we come back, we have to unmark it. So here also we'll unmark it, and now we will place our queen. We will get to the second row, and here I placed my queen. Now I reach second row, 2th row. What I have to do? I have to print the configuration. It is going to be 0, 0 and 1, 1. Okay. Now I will simply return, and while I am returning, I unmark it. Okay. Whenever I am in my post order, Again here, I will also unmark it. So I will unmark it. Now, I am in my 0th row. I will see the second choice that I had to place my queen in the first column. So I will place my queen here in the first column. Right. And here also, again, I placed my queen in the first column. I will reach the first row. Now in the first row, I had two choices. Right. Here also I had two choices. To place my queen in the 0th column, 0th column or the first column. So if I place my queen in the 0th column, that means I placed my queen here. Okay. So I place my queen in the 0th column, then I will reach 2th row. And if I reach nth row, then I will return and I will print the configuration. So here the configuration will be 0 slash 1 1 slash 0 comma and a dot. Then I will simply return. And you know what I have to do when I'm returning in my post order? I have to unmark it so that I can explore more options. Okay. So now I will place my queen in the first column. So I will reach second row and I will place my queen. Now this means I hit my base case, and whenever I hit my base case, I simply print the configuration, that is 0 slash 1 1 slash 1, and I will return and unmark. So I return, I unmark this, then again no pending call left, I will return and unmark. Okay, so now we know how we can place queen, and we know that we got to unmark it. So now let's code this and then further talk about it. Okay, so first thing, we are just talking about how we can place queens. What we discussed is just to place queens, not to place queens safely. Okay, so I had choices. What were the choices? That to place your queen in which column. Okay, so that means I will travel all the columns. Okay, I will travel all the columns. Now I will have the choices. In which column? Okay, I will drag it here. I want to place my queen. Okay, so in my QSF, queen so far, what I will add row number. What is the row number? It's row, but we have to first convert it into string. Okay, because it's a numerical value, and we have to add a slash. We have to add a column number again, convert it into string, and a comma. Okay, and we are given row. So here, what our expectations and faith is. So here, my faith is that my expectation is, let's first talk about that. This function will print all the queens for me, and my faith is that this recursive call here, it will place queen in a single row. Okay, that we will place a queen in a single row, and rest my recursion will do it for me. So that's my faith. Okay, so I went to the column here first step. Sorry, I think we missed it. So we are placing the queen here. Okay, and what is placing like? This means, also for better understanding, I will set I to column. Okay, here also we to column. Okay, so I'll place my queen. Like if I simply change value of a cell to 1, that means I placed my queen. Simple as that. Okay, we need not to take another array or something. We can simply change its value to 1. That means we placed it. Okay, so we placed it. We also know we got to unplace it after my recursive calls. Okay, because to explore more paths. Okay, if we don't get our path, or to explore more paths, we got to backtrack. And when we will get our answer? If our row is equal to nth row, right? here. So I can write if row is equal to length of chess. If that's the case, that means we got our answer. So I will print it. Print QSF, queen so far. Also add a full stop at the end as per our output format and return. Right, simple as that. Okay, now what we did, we placed queens in our chessboard. Okay, we placed queens. What we just did is just placing. Now we will talk about how we can place n number of queens safely. Okay, so as we discussed earlier, what we discussed is I want to show you the previous. Yeah, so queen can travel in 8 directions. That's what we discussed. But an important part. Okay, so for example, here. Okay, we are at here in the 0th column of my second row. So here, if I check for all 8 directions, is it really necessary to check for all the 8 directions? Whether a queen is killing here, or is it safe to place my queen here? Is it necessary to check for all 8 direction? Can't we just simply check for top left direction? Okay, top direction and top right. Can only these direction can determine whether is it safe to place a queen or not. Think about it. Whether only these three can determine. Why is that? I will tell you why. Because we are traveling from top to bottom. Is it right? And we only get to the next row whenever we place a queen. That means we only place a single queen in a row, because whenever we place it, our recursion will get to the next row. So by that, we need not to check for the same row, and we are moving from top to bottom. So we need not to check for down as well. So effectively, we need to check for 3 direction, that is top left, top and top right. So if you check for these 3 direction and there is no queen present, so that means it is safe to place your queen, right? So for that, what I'm going to do is to make a function. Okay, I'll set it to full screen. Yeah. So my function name is save. I'm gonna pass chessboard, row and column. Okay. So first, I'm gonna check for top. Is there a queen present in the top? Okay. So for that, I'm gonna take 2 variables so that it doesn't change my value when I traverse. I'm gonna show you why. So while r is greater than equal to 0. So that means it will run the loop till it is not negative. And I'm going to check if chess RC equal to 1. If there is 1, that means a queen is present and it's going to kill you. It is not safe to place a queen here. So I will return false. Okay. So I will return false. And in the recursion, I'm going to decrease the value of my R. Okay. So this is for the top. Okay. This is for the top. Now let's talk about top left. So here in the top left, what is happening? My row is decreasing by 1 in this direction and column is also decreasing by 1. Here only row is decreasing by 1 and here my row is decreasing by 1, of course. And what about column? Column is increasing by 1. Perfect. So now let's talk about top left. Top left. I will take a row and c equal to column. I will set it to the default value, and while row, this time we are going to decrease both row and column. So while row is greater than equal to 0 and column is also greater than equal to 0, and we are going to check if chess RC, chess is our array, equal to 1, that means a queen is present and it can kill you, the queen can kill you. So you will simply return false, and you will decrease R value by 1 as well as column value. Okay, now next, what? Top right direction. So R equal to row, C equal to column. And this time in the top right direction, as we discussed, my row is decreasing, of course it is decreasing, and my column is increasing. So if my column increases, for example, if my queen is here, so yeah, so this time instead of a negative call, if my column gets out of the matrix, let me show you what I am referring to. So for R, we will check just for the negative call. Okay, but our column is gonna increase this time. So I have to check if column is less than what? If column is less than, this is n cross n matrix now. So if column is less than n, till then we'll run our loop and we'll check if chess RC is equal to 1. If a queen is present, then what we are gonna do is to return false. And this time we are gonna decrease the value of our row and increase the value of our column. Okay, so that's my say function. And if none of this condition matches, if none of the condition return us false, that means it is safe to place our queen. So I will simply return true. Okay, so this is our is safe function that will check whether it is safe to place our queen or not to place our queen. Now what? Now we will only place our queen when it is safe to place our queen. You're getting me? So if is safe, we are gonna pass what? We are gonna pass a chessboard, a row number, that is row and column. Okay, if that is true, then only we are gonna place our queen. Okay, I'll fix the indentation. Right. So if it is safe to place our queen, then only we'll place our queen this time. Okay, are you getting me? So I think this is mainly for our code. Now let's try running it, and then we will also try run it. Okay, I'll run it, accepted. Now let's submit it. Perfect, 10 out of 10. Now let's see how it is actually working. So for that we will dry run it. Okay, I will clear this, or maybe I will create a new array. Okay, let's understand it from the scratch. So here is my chessboard of what size? N cross n. Right, and let's see for n cross n chessboard of where n is equal to 4. Perfect. Let's assign the row number and column number 0 1 2 3 0 1 2 3. Right, and this is for n cross n where n is equal to 4. Now let's start it. Here we are standing in our 0th row in the 0th column. Okay, we will have choices. We will have choices, we'll check if we can place our queen here in the 0th column of our 0th row. Yes, we can place it. So I will simply place my queen, and then I will get to the first row. Now in the first row, I will check whether is it safe to place my queen here in the 0th row. No, it is not safe, because in the top a queen is present. Here also, is it safe? No, it is not safe. Here in the second column, yes, it is safe to place a queen. So I will place a queen and will get to the second row. So in the second row, is it safe to place a queen? No, it is not, as in the top a queen is present. Here also it is not safe to place a queen, as in the top right a queen is present, in the top a queen is present, in the top left a queen is present. So what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna simply return, wait, I'm gonna return and unmark this. I'm gonna unmark this. I'm gonna unmark and I'm gonna place it in the last column because it's the pending call, pending choice. So I'll place my queue in here. Now again, I'm gonna check. Is it safe to place here? No, it is not, because there is a queue in above top. Is it safe to place a queue in here? Yes, it is safe to place my queue in here. I'll place it. Now I will reach the last row and I will check it again. Is it safe to place my queue in here in the 0th row? No, it is not, as in the top as well as top right a queue is present. It is not safe. Is it safe to place a queue in here? No, it is not, as in the top a queue is present. Is it safe to place a queue in here? No, it is not, as in the top left a queue is present. Is it safe to place a queue in here? No, it is not, as in the top a queue is present. So all the calls are completed. What I'm gonna do next is return and unmark. This time I'm gonna try placing my queen here, but I can't place because in the top right a queen is present. Here also I can't place because in the top a queen is present. So what I'm gonna do, return, unmark, and I realize all the calls are finished, so I will completely return and unmark. And this time I'm gonna try placing my queen here in the first column of my 0th row. Now, is it safe to place my queen here? No, it is not, as in the top right a queen is present. It is not safe here, as in the top a queen is present. Here also it is not safe, as in the top left a queen is present. Here it is safe. I'll place my queen. I will reach the second row. I will check it again. Is it safe to place my queen here? Yes, it is completely safe. I placed my queen. Now I will reach the third row, the final row. Is it safe to place my queen here? No, it is not, as in the top a queen is present. Is it safe to place a queen here? No, it is not, as in the top a queen is present. Is it safe to place a queen here? Yes, it is completely safe to place a queen here. So I'll place my queen and I will eventually reach the nth row number, that is my 4. I will get out of the matrix, and by that means I will hit my base case if row is equal to length. So I will hit my base case and I'm gonna simply print. I print my configuration. So let's see what the configuration will be for my output. So it is going to be 0/1, 1,3, 2,0, and 3,2, and a dot. So that's one configuration we got. Now let's complete it and let's see what happens further. Okay, so here I'm gonna unmark it, right? I'm gonna unmark it and I'm gonna try placing my queen here, but it is not safe to place my queen here, as it is as there's a queen present in the top. So I will simply return, and my next step is to unmark. So I'll unmark this. Now I will try to place my queen here, but it is not safe because in the top there is a queen present. It is not safe to place a queen here as well, because in the top right a queen is present, and here also it is not safe because in the top a queen is present. So I'm gonna simply return, unmark, and here all the calls are finished. So I will return from this row. Now I will again reach in the 0th row and I'm gonna unmark this, and this time I'm gonna place it in the second column. Okay, so in the 0th column of my first row, is it safe to place? Yes, it is safe. In the second row, is it safe to place? No, it is not. In the top it is present, or a queen is present. Is it safe to place a queen here? No, it is not, as in the top left a queen is present. It is not safe. Is it safe to place a queen here? No, it is not, because in the top a queen is present. Is it safe to place here in the third column of its second row? Yes, it is safe. I'll place it. I will reach third row. Now let's check it again. Is it safe to place a queen here? No, it is not, and the top a queen is present. Is it safe to place a queen here? Yes, absolutely. It is safe. So I'll place my queen and I will reach nth row, the 4th row, and I will get to my base case and I will simply print. Print what? Print the configurations that we got. It's going to be 0/2, comma 1/0, comma 2/3, and 3/2. Right. So now what? Now what? Now again, you are gonna unmark this and you will try placing queue in here. But it is not safe to place a queue in here. So I'll get to the last column. It is not also not safe to place a queue in here. I'm gonna return. And now I will try to place a queue in here, but we'll get out of the column. So I will unmark, return, and we are gonna unmark this as well. Now I'll try placing a queue in here, but we can't place it. Here also we can't because top right, top left, and top. And here also I can't because in the top left a queue is present. So I'm gonna return, completely return, and unmark. Now we'll get to the last column. I placed my queen in the last column. I will check in the 0th column. Can I safely place a queen? Yes, I can. Okay, now I'll reach the second row. I can't safely place a queen here, as in the top a queen is present. I can't even safely place a queen here, as in the top left a queen is present. I can safely place a queen here. Yes. Now I will reach the third row. Can I safely place a queen here? No. Because in the top a queen is present, I can't safely place a queen here. Because in the top right a queen is present, I can't safely place here as well as here. So what I'm gonna do is return, completely return, and unmark this and try placing it here. But here also I can't place it because above a queen is present in the top. So I'm gonna completely return, unmark this, try placing my queen here. Okay, here I place my queen. I will reach second row. Can I place it here? No, I cannot, because in the top right a queen is present. Here also I can't because in the top a queen is present. Here also I cannot because in the top left a queen is present. Here also I cannot, as in the top a queen is present. So I'm gonna return, unmark, and I will try placing my queen here. But here also I can't place a queen because in the top right a queen is present. And here also I can't place a queen because in the top a queen is present. So I will simply return and unmark, and that's how my recursion is over. So that's how your program NQueens will work. Okay, so let's summarize it very quick. What we did is, first we only thought about how we can place our queens. Okay, so we placed our queens and then we realized we have to place our queen safely. So for that, we created a safe function that will check the 3 directions, because only 3 directions are required to check it efficiently. Is it safe? So the 3 directions were top, top left, and top right. And then after placing it, we also realized we have to unplace it because we can explore new paths. So I hope you liked it. You liked the explanation. And if you liked it, do not forget to like, comment, and share. Thanks for watching.